Why are we playing games? Melyssa Ford is not married because she didn't want to be married. And all of a sudden, like I say, she's 50 years old and she didn't did what some of these men say. Now, again, that could be subjective, but we keeping it real. This is Melyssa Ford. She hit the wall. She's 49. She is angry that her sexualizing herself, her image, her body, her personality, her her presence, her essence, and she didn't get what she wanted.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to control. That's what it all comes down to, control over finances, control over status. The thing that I found most funny about all of the men that were kind of in an uproar over what I was saying, when they hear the word decenter men, they hear I can no longer control anything that this woman does because she's not all of the normal things that she would be looking for: a protector, a provider, a ring on her finger. None of those things impress me or impress upon me or even feel like I need them. I have proven I can take very good care of myself. And my standards are based on what I have been able to provide for myself.
All right, I'm gonna hit it from two sides of the coin. Because we just watched the video with Melyssa Ford, I will start with her. When I was 19, this was in 2004, she was on like a very, I don't know if it was king or whatever the calendar was, but anyway, my point was, if you were to go back 22 years for her, she was at 27. She was 27, right? So at the height of what we would say her prime, it's what the guys were saying. She was sexualizing herself. She was hyper-sexualizing herself. She was not making herself to be a wife. And when she, what we call financially, like, okay, I sleep with these rappers, I sleep with these well-affluent men of a financial status or whatever, and now she is associating or attaching her value to them. That is not your value because you are sleeping with those men. And now you come in your relationships with this expectation. She's not developed. She's at 49. And you can still pick through some of the shit that she was saying. And she still sound like she's somewhere in her 20s and she's immature. It's almost like she's talking to the men that don't want her no more, saying, well, y'all don't want me no more, even though I'm ran through. I'm still cool. I'm still looking good. I'm still kicking it. I don't know if you've all have followed Melyssa Ford or not, or if you're just looking at her at this end game as this 49-year-old woman. But this lady has been in the industry for 20 plus years. She has had millionaires. She has had some of what somebody else would deem as the best suitable men. She's been engaged 4 times, and this woman ain't married, as beautiful and successful and affluent, all of these great things about her, but she's not married. It's because she didn't want to be married. It's just that simple. Why are we playing games? Melyssa Ford is not married because she didn't want to be married. And all of a sudden, like I say, she's 50 years old and she didn't did what some of these men say. Now, again, that could be subjective, but we keeping it real. This is Melyssa Ford. She hit the wall. She's 49. She is angry that her sexualizing herself, her image, her body, her personality, her her presence, her essence, and she didn't get what she wanted. We gonna walk it down, and we gonna walk it down. How many times you got to get engaged before you never make it to get married? I'm just trying to figure it out. Now, hell yeah, we got to put the blame on her. She is the common denominator. What are we talking about? It's nothing wrong with being single. It's not. And we're not going to conflate the two. She's single because she made the wrong choices. There's nothing wrong with a woman being single. There's nothing wrong with a man being single. But when you are single for a long time and you had a plethora of experiences and they all fail, come on now. We about to keep pointing fingers in the other direction. It's her. It's her. She can decenter men all she wants. She can say the men got their panties in a bunch. She can say she got her own individual ethics, morals, and integrity. She can say she get her love from her animals. Sure you do, because they're dependent on you. When you're in a relationship, you're not dependent on that man, and it's vice versa. So that's a control issue, where she always talked about control. But hey, whatever. There's a difference between peace and a humble realization that the shit that you was trying to do didn't work out for you. And it shouldn't have took you 27 years in the whole world to figure that shit out for you. That's what happened. It's a difference between her wanting to be married, locked down, versus being superficially pursued. Like some women, no matter how attractive they are, they rather have what they believe are falsified options of men instead of just going to sit your ass down. So on the opposite side of that, if we were to do what both said and just decenter Melyssa Ford and just take her out of it and just speak about like singleness, singlehood, right? Then we got to talk about like what's the real issue with singlehood? Are we really saying that the end game is for us to all be married and to be attached to somebody? I'm not saying I agree or disagree. You do what you want to do. But again, we got to bring it to the table. What's the real issue with people being single? I don't think it is. I think it's the person that's single and why you're single. So let's stop doing that. Ain't nothing wrong with you being by yourself because you're still significant, even though you don't have a significant other. But then we got to also talk about it too. Like, it's always a pressure. Because you will get people on one side, and then I'm going to end it with this. You will get somebody that say some shit like, you need somebody, but don't put all your eggs in one basket. Wait to have kids. When you going to start a family? Go get your career and chase your goals. Greed and money doesn't keep you warm at night. So what I'm saying at the end of the day is sort of what Melyssa Ford was saying. At some point, you just got to authentically do what works for you. If you want to be in a relationship, do what works to be in a relationship. If you want to be a wife, family, husband, whatever it is that you want, just move with intention. That way you can get that. But to set it up as a different way and then you don't get what you want and all of a sudden it's an issue with men, it's an issue with marriage. No, it's not. It's an issue with you because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. So anyway, like I said, don't spend your life trying to please people with insatiable and unrealistic appetites. I land tonight.
Hey, go ahead, Willie, and then we'll get some response before I play some more clip. I'm gonna get to you after the I'm gonna get to you after the clip, Fresh Maker.
This is just I don't know why we keep using Melyssa Ford to punch down on. She's washed. This is just like a fat girl being like, I'm happy to be fat, as if she could go back and pick, and like somebody said, hey, here's the creative character board. Go design your ideal body, your ideal life. That she would go design her character to be fat, to be unattractive, and to be out of shape and single. They wouldn't do that. Melyssa Ford wouldn't go back in, and she had a chance to. She would not go and create her ideal life, her ideal everything to be what it is now. Women saying they're happy being single once they're washed is like a nigga 5'5" saying, well, I didn't go to the NBA because I didn't want to. No, nigga, you didn't go to the NBA because you weren't built for it. No matter how much you tried to, you would have never equated to it because Errol Boykins and Muggsy Bogues are 1 in a billion. Unfortunately, Melyssa Ford was not. She was a video hoe. People was like saying, well, she caught her ex cheating wrong on condom. Well, it's niggas seeing Melyssa Ford getting her face skeeted on, or niggas that she was getting paid in a fucking bathroom when she was a waitress. Like, that's why she's not married, because she was a hoe. That's the biggest piece. She's 50 years old now, a 50-year-old retired, allegedly, hoe, saying that she doesn't want to be married. You don't get that benefit. That's not even an option for you. So that's like me saying, hey, I can't go in the White House right now, even though I think I'll be the best president we could have. I can't walk in the White House without getting my fucking face blown off. But you know why? Because it's not an option for me. Melyssa Ford getting married was not an option for her. She got engaged 4 times. Melyssa Ford didn't tell one thing she's honest about. She won't lie. She didn't say she called them engagements off. And then look into her past and see who she was engaged to. Again, niggas that just wanted to fuck and was willing to marry her to keep access to what she was. Them niggas would never have been happy to be with her at 40 right now. She's old and washed. And all of those high-earning niggas can do better than what she's doing right now. So the best part about it is it's simple to break this down. Name one thing other than a cast iron skillet that gets better with usage and time. See how none of y'all said a woman?
Humans.
And that's exactly what Melyssa Ford is. She's a used up woman with all these miles of celebrity dick. Now just bragging about, oh, I'm so happy, and she probably is happy to be single, like, because she's had to accept it. She's doing the same thing the niggas in jail do. They have to accept the fact they never getting the fuck out. She's accepted the fact that she's never going to get married. She's accepted the fact that nobody's ever going to take her serious. She's accepted the fact that them bookings done got super low. When she was charging $20,000 to be half-ass naked in the club, she can't get a booking for $2,500. The closest thing she gets to attention outside of a podcast that niggas put her on out of pity and sympathy is going on stage and being one of them on stage groupie bitches at a concert for Givian. So again, like, you don't get credit for choosing options that you never had. Like, that's not a flex for you. That's like me saying, you know what? I should get credit because I don't have a period. Well, I'm a fucking man, so I can't have a period. That's how stupid it is for her to be like, well, I don't want to be married. I'm happy decentering men and all the other shit, right? Because you're delusional. I mean, you're not delusional, so I'll give her that. Because if she was still trying to blame men for this, then we'd have a whole separate conversation.